Palworld has sold over 8 million copies in 6 days, but some people are not that happy, mainly Pokemon people. Let's dive into it. Pokemon fans are coming for Palworld with a vengeance. I mean, good. Monster Mash. Okay. Palworld, aka Pokemon with Guns, is out now and already shooting to the top of the Steam's most played game list. I think it's number 2 right now, right? I think that's the case. It's early days, of course, but already it seems safe to declare the game a hit. Yeah, I mean, it sold 8 million copies in 6 days. To be honest, I've been playing it since it came out and I haven't put it down. It's addiction. Like, please help me. And it's going down well with players too. On Steam, Palworld has a very positive user rating. So there's the 8 million copies, and that's kind of divided in between Steam and the Xbox Game Pass, Xbox, etc. And they have a little bit of controversy because a lot of Pokemon fans are not happy at how similar some of the Pokemon look. And there's a whole weird thing about allegations of AI because the CEO had another game that was you had to detect if the art that you were seeing was AI generated. And then people are like, did Palworld use AI? And it's just throwing these crazy accusations with zero proof. It's just fear mongering because someone has touched their beloved Monster Mon IP. This tweet's probably honestly one of the best here and kind of just a nice synopsis of all the crap that's been happening for the past couple days. Bro, the Palworld discourse is insane. It shows what's going on with Twitter. I mean, it's all on Twitter. Twitter is an echo chamber. AI art was used wrong. The dev team made a game where you could guess if AI art was made or not. And the CEO made a tweet about BuzzFeed using AI to make Pokemon designs. Not AI was used in the game. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious AI wasn't used in the game. If you think that AI was used in the game, I don't know how to help you on that one. It's not that good yet. It's good, but it's not that good yet. Pokemon models were stolen. I will find that image, but people were like, oh my God, these two images and these two things, they're the same. And that person was lying and even scaled the models to fit because they felt it promoted animal abuse. So they had their own agenda to try to have a false narrative about Palworld, while in general, the population doesn't care. I feel like, I'm gonna take a hot take here. If there was AI art and there was models stolen, I don't think the general population would care because it's a fun game and they're enjoying it. They don't care about the other side of it. The game uses NFTs, wrong. I don't even know where that one came from. Someone made it up since the CEO trades in crypto. So apparently if you trade in crypto now, your game has NFTs. Twitter is wild, right? Like it is wild. Like what the f is going on with this game? Twitter is having a meltdown over a $1 billion company competitor between Game Freak and an indie dev. This is like the best way to explain Pokemon or Palworld to anybody that has never played it. It's like, wait, it's all slavery? Yes. That's what Pokemon is. You just paint it with a nice little brush of like, no, they love being in those balls. It's great. And a fight. Yeah, it's great. It's not dogfighting. Like, what's going on? Like, the people are just going after the most random just to like throw accusations and slander to a company that is effectively an indie company that made a better game. Yet everyone's like, no, meh. Twitter is honestly a cesspool. It is the biggest cesspool. It's the new 4chan, and now 4chan's just gone off the rails. There was also another weird take here, right? That senior artists and other artists on Twitter are also kind of dogging on Palworld, which is not a good look. I mean, I get it that everyone has their own opinions, but when you're on Twitter saying you're a senior artist from Naughty Dog, and then you say, my gut is telling me Palworld was made nefariously, I just have no proof, just dev intuition. Yeah, buddy. Okay. And then again, tech artists at whatever the company. It does feel like that, doesn't it? It's like, okay, I get it. You don't agree with it. And artists, you know, as everybody, have an opinion. And everyone has the right to an opinion, just like everyone has an doesn't make it right, but they can have one. Making a game is just so difficult. They're cheating somehow, and I just can't pinpoint how. Making a game is hard. It is very hard, especially to optimize it and to make it actually work on the insane amount of different configurations of different PCs, let alone making a good game that's actually enjoyable and people really want to play it. It's just a weird thing that people that are like previously Respawn and Rocksteady Games and a senior artist at Naughty Dog, and he's a BAFTA committee judge, is throwing shade at Palworld. It's not going to hurt him ever. Having an opinion like this, it's not going to blow back on him, but it is kind of odd to not feel pride in our industry to be like, hey, you know what? Great job. You did great. You sold 8 million copies. Wow. Instead, they're just on it. So there's a whole slew of just oddball comments that come out of this. I mean, go figure, right? Anyway, let's get back to the article. But some Pokemon fans are less than impressed, and that's because of clear and obvious similarities between Palworld and Nintendo's all-conquering, family-friendly, gotta-catch-em-all franchise, which is a billion-dollar company, and people are trying to white knight it. Don't understand that. Are Palworld's pals too similar to Pokemon? Are we in a rip-off territory here? As Palworld trends across social media, one debate cutting through the din revolves around this very question. For some Pokemon fans, Palworld is a shameless clone. They're letting the internet know it. And by the way, guys, if you don't know, we'll pull it up too. Nintendo already released a statement about this whole thing. And I think the TLDR is Nintendo does not own the monster catching genre, just as PUBG and Fortnite don't own Battle Royale. And if you guys don't remember that whole lawsuit where PUBG tried to sue Epic, it was about technology rights, but also the whole IP of like, oh, we own Battle Royale. I'm glad that they're smart enough to not go down that route where they're like, oh, no, we own monster catching. It's like, oh, Monster Rancher and a bunch of other games would like to have a word. Oh, and maybe Digimon too. But there is similarities. Hands down, visually, there is. Like, I would say border on copying. You can't copyright a small part of a design. You can't do it. It has to be the full design or nothing. So you can't be like, oh, well, we copyrighted the eyes. No, that's not how copyright works. That's not even how trademark works. So yes, there is similarities. Very, 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 very close similarities on some of these things. But again, you can't copyright an element. Would I say that this is very heavily inspired by Pokemon? Oh, yes. Yes. But it is lightning in a bottle what they were able to capture that Nintendo has yet to be able to in, what, the 20 plus years that Pokemon's been out. So you know what? Good for them. Since I'm bored as hell, I'm gonna make a thread of this. I think Palworld's design analysis trying to spot every Pokemon they jumbled together because there's like this weird elf pixie guy. They're like, no, the ears are that. It's like, have you ever seen an elf? Like, come on. The neck thing from this. I mean, this just honestly, A, Pokemon fans are a little, they need a hobby. But B, I get what they're trying to say, that these are cobbled together Pokemon, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. This is great. This is probably the best and honestly most sane take, being an artist myself, being in the game industry for over a decade, and then seeing both sides of this as a consumer and as someone in the industry. It's vital to remember the vast majority of gamers simply do not care about the behind the scenes issues of games. They don't. They don't care that it costs more and more to make games. They don't care that it takes more and more people to make games. They don't care. They just want new shiny to look better and to play better and to be innovative every time. To be honest, yeah, I agree with this. They're not on Reddit. The vast majority of people are not on Reddit. Just I hope you understand this, right? Like most people are not just sitting there browsing Reddit. They're just playing the damn game. They're just playing the game, enjoying themselves. They're not in Discord groups. They're not reading forums. They're not even reading tweets. So when games do things which make gamers mad, remember, while the passionate discussions may look like the majority of online discourse, even dominating the gaming news, it's still a tiny, tiny fraction of the overall player base in a game. And I would honestly argue that the average consumer gives zero shits about the inner workings of a game or whether there's controversy about the game. Only thing they care about is the quality of the game. Is it fun? Can I invest time? And the whole gameplay loop. That's all they care about. They don't care if there was AI used. That's such a small margin of people that would even actually care about that. Just don't believe Twitter. And I'm sorry that's a real take here, but I'm more of a realist than a, we can do better, guys. It's like, no, AI is going to come for your job and you will like it and you will have to accept it. Like, you will have to accept it or get left behind. The same way people boycotted the Harry Potter game, and by the way, that was actually one of the best-selling games last year too. It went on to sell millions in top charts, the same way no one admits to buying FIFA, yet the Ultimate Team makes more money than almost any other game. Yeah, it's the raging on Reddit, Twitter, etc., you name it. They're such a small minority. And you wonder why game is still selling well or still being enjoyed despite all this stuff, and you think people should know or care about. It's unfortunate but true that most people simply do not care. And I would argue, why should they? I think we're in a, not so much, we're not in a fast fashion type of thing for game industry where you really just don't care where your clothes are being made or if it's ethical or yada, yada, yada. And some people do. That is great. Great for you. But the vast majority just don't care. They don't care where things came from. They care that it's enjoyable or it's fun or it's cheap. That is the reality. And if you think differently, that's great, but I could point to a lot of examples of the opposite. And he's pretty much saying what I'm saying. If the gameplay is fun, people will buy it and play it and then finish playing it and move on. The majority won't give a single thought to the politics, ethics, morals, or immoral design choices, even the dev's personal history. In the land of popular gaming, gameplay alone is king. Yes. Yes. I've said that for so many years, that gameplay is king, and they just don't care. Sorry to say, guys. But anyway, let's go back to this, where angry Twitter people are just ripping it apart. Hey, this piece of fur. Yeah, this piece of fur. That's a copy. That's a copy. Like, come on, man. Oh, ears droop the same way. Fur on the edge of face, body shape. This bothers me more that he didn't line this shit up, to be honest. Like, it is. And I know some people are going to disagree, but I think I just have a realistic take of that. Copying work like this, you can't copyright an eye. I'm sorry, you can't. Is it have similarities? Oh, hell yeah, it does. Oh, yeah, it does. But guess what? They can't do anything about that. You can literally do nothing about that. No lawyer would take this case. They would open up a precedent that then Nintendo owns a whole genre of game. That's a very dangerous precedent to set. Because then you'll see Fortnite, then you'll see other games be like, nope, you know what? Fortnite's Battle Royale. We own that. You think that a company won't do that? Oh, if they could, they would. Same concept, bird element removed, same color choices, cape is orange, hood is green. Okay. Did they? Yes, hands down. Oh my God, they keep going. Holy crap. I think we can all agree that they definitely took from multiple sources. No matter what the CEO says, it's obvious. If you have eyes, it's obvious. They took from multiple sources, they mashed them together, and it's slightly different. So yeah, I want to like Palworld, but I don't know if I can support running existing Pokemon through a fuser and passing them off as a new IP. A fan game would be fine, but as a commercially available product, blah, 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 blah. I hate to break this to you, but that's a lot of games. And most art is just recycled. It's inspired and copied. Actual Cinderace, funnily enough, has the best chance of getting Palworld sued by Pokemon Company. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. This just is like the complete brain rot that is Twitter. On the topic of Palworld monster designs, no heavy referencing or copying from Pokemon designs won't harm the Pokemon Company. I don't think people are arguing that. What it does come off as incredibly shady and lazy, making something original. Bitch, go make something original. I'll wait. Go design a original monster that has never been designed. Go do it. I'll wait. People told me there are hundreds of original designs. Let's go back to Pokemon, right? Pokemon literally took a trash can and put eyes on it. They put a keychain and put eyes on it. There's a rock with eyes on it. They just started gluing googly eyes to everything. And yet, yeah. Indie company, lazy. Yep, bad. I don't get any of the hate currently against Palworld, but we can't deny a lot of these designs are ripped from the Pokemon, some almost identical. Yep, I would agree. I would definitely agree. Like, love Pokemon here and Mewtwo, definitely. Like, almost the same proportions, hands down. By the way, if you don't know Lavantier's background story, it's terrifying. She made love to pals, but then got bored of it and then started making love to humans. Yeah, this shit's real based. I was like, holy crap, there's like no punches. Nintendo fans, haven't you seen how many Palworld creations are just rip-off designs? It's evil to play this game. It's evil, guys. Me just wanting to play Pokemon with guns? Yeah, pretty much. And I would argue there's actually not a terrible amount of guns. There's a little bit of guns, but this one is fantastic. Pokemon fans really white knighting milady Nintendo today. Leave my multi-billion-dollar company alone. Yeah. Tired of hearing this. Pokemon is gonna sue. So the Pokemon Company released a statement today also talking about how everyone has been messaging them saying like, this is a ripoff. It's like, we have received many inquiries regarding another company's game released on January 2024. We have not granted any permission as to the use of Pokemon intellectual property or assets in that game. We intend to investigate and take appropriate measures to address any facts that infringe on intellectual property rights relating to Pokemon. We will continue to cherish and nurture each and every Pokemon in its world and work to bring the world together through Pokemon in the future. Cool. The TLDR is they could have sued 3 years ago when the game was being created. Trailers were released, yet they didn't. And they haven't done that for a lot of these knockoff games because they can't. Copyright infringement is a very, very gray area in lawsuits and in law in general. And the whole 20% rule is actually bullshit. It is on Pokemon Company to prove that Palworld copied. It is not up to Palworld to defend themselves. So nothing will come from this because they don't own the genre. Pokemon purist. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, I mean, I have to say that the Pokemon games that have come out for Switch have been hot trash, I would say. Like pretty hot trash. As for the developer Pocket Pair, it has distanced the game from comparisons to Pokemon, highlighting the survival aspects that are reminiscent of games like Ark Survival Evolved. Yeah, I would say the game is very much Ark with Pokemon. That is the best comparison. It's not Pokemon with guns, it's Ark with Pokemon. It seems unlikely complaints about Palworld from Pokemon fans will dampen its success. No, it won't. Yeah, because it's like maybe 100 people complaining, holding their pitchforks, and the general people are in Palworld playing the game and having fun. So it's an example of Twitter just being an echo chamber, with the concurrent increasing by the hour, and they keep selling 1 million copies a day. Just let that sink in right now. 1 million copies are sold a day right now. It will slow down, but damn, that is very impressive. I think they're number 2 at all-time concurrent now. PUBG is the highest, but it's coming for it. However, it's worth noting the Xbox version lags behind the Steam version in terms of functionality. Yeah, I mean, that's a whole thing, but you know, we don't talk about Xbox. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? I honestly, it's just a bunch of people bitching. I'm not surprised about any of this. It's a really fun game and gameplay is king, and people will continue to play it as long as they keep updating it. It's a lightning in a bottle scenario for this game developer, and I think that's fantastic. It's great that we have more survival games that are actually fun and that keep you hooked. Let me know in the comments, guys, what you think. There's no AI in here. Yeah, they kind of are inspired by Pokemon, but in general, are you enjoying the game? Are you having fun? Do you hate it? Also, if you guys haven't, make sure to go subscribe to the channel, say hi on socials and Discord, and I will see you in the next video.